but especially the governor. You know, so that this thing does not escalate beyond this point.
Okay. All right, moving on now. For effective prosecution of war, adopting kinetic and non-kinetic approaches are crucial as part of its non-kinetic strategies to keep Nigeria safer. The Nigerian Army has put regular parley with media executives. At one of such meetings in Afaka, Kaduna, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, briefed media executives on the war efforts and challenges. General Oluyede said victory is assured with the support of Nigerians. Let's share the story by TVC News Lupa Asom.
High-level event in Kaduna, the Army Chief meets with top media executives from both government-owned and private media organizations across the country. The aim is to provide insight into military operations in the country's conflict zones. Among those raising concerns is TVC News' Babajide Kolade Otitoju, who highlighted the increasing sophisticated nature of the insurgency in the northeast.
Some parts of Yobe State, especially Ujuba local governments, we have observed that there is some stability in that area. But there are concerns too that the enemy now uses unmanned area vehicles fitted with weapons, use IEDs to kill our troops. What have you done differently?
We're talking about warfare here. So you win some, you lose some. And I can tell you that we get disturbed too when we have reverses. But that said, there are different factors, you know, that one could ascribe to those losses. But how we wouldn't want to go into all those factors. But they are very germane. But what I've done is to evaluate the situation and come up with workable solutions that could stabilize the region. One is to rejig the command structure there, which I've done. I've changed virtually all the commanders.
The people in the northeast, what has been done, what success has been recorded in buying the hearts and minds of the people there towards providing intelligence and then supporting the fight against the insurgency?
Like, I think it's better for me to put it right here. It's getting worse. Because I recall when I was there as a brigadier general commanding 27th Task Force Brigade, you could get timely intelligence. But because it's become something like a business, those who had kiosks, small kiosks when the thing started, now have warehouses. So it has become a war economy, and people are making money out of it. So, and the guys too, the criminals are becoming wiser. What they do is that they don't come out directly to say, okay, we are going to attack a particular town. All they do is, okay, we assemble in a place until when they are about to leave that place. But the intelligence community, they are trying their best.
Another issue of great concern is the renowned threat posed by notorious bandit leader Bello Turji.
Shortly after you took over, you promised us that his days are numbered. That character has still not stopped taking lives. We want to get some assurance from you that the threat that this boy constitutes will be taken away sooner than later.
It's not that efforts are not being made, because some key commanders surrounding him have been taken out. But it's not something that you just go and say, because these are people that are supported by even the populace in some instances. So it's difficult to actually say, oh, I'm going to pick up this man right now, and it will be so. But it's a matter of time. I can tell you that it's a matter of time. That just the way we have taken out some of his commanders, he will eventually be taken out.
International partners, especially our neighbors, the West. Every time we share intelligence with Nigeria in terms of supporting the anti-terror group and all that, has there been something significant, different from these rhetorics, sharing this intelligence with foreign partners, especially our neighbors? And how are you coping when some of them are out of ECOWAS, but you still have need to cooperate with them militarily?
Well, talking about interagency collaboration, I can tell you emphatically that that's very robust. Because we get information from the DSS, the police, which we work on, as timely as possible. So I can tell you that we're collaborating well with other agencies in terms of intelligence. Now, talking about international partners, it's something that we share. It's a body that is being shared. I'll give you an example. Niger. We have Malafactory very close to Niger there. And anytime Malafactory is attacked, the Niger Air Force do support us. Because they know that if Malafactory should go down, that means some part of their own country, like Boso, will be under threat. So even though they are out of ECOWAS, we still collaborate at our level.
All of the military men we have in Nigeria is about 135,000 only. If that were correct, the question will then be, with the number of insurgencies and difficult circumstances and security situation we have, would it help if we have more soldiers hired as quickly as possible so that the number can become one that enables us to fight with men on ground, though the equipment seems to have been something that the government is taking care of?
The military is about 500. Some, that's talking about the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. But for the Army, we're in the realm of 170,000. Now, it's imperative that we recruit more. And that's what we've been doing for some years now. Every year we recruit about 12,000 for the other ranks, and about 400,000, 400 for the officers. That gives you a total of about 12,400 yearly. For this year, we're trying to increase that to like 14,000. But this comes with its own attendant challenges. For instance, as we speak, more than 40% of the army is not accommodated. I can tell you that. And this is a great challenge. Apart from that, when you look at the structures we have on ground, take for instance the depot end in Nigeria, in Zaria. This was an establishment that was meant for like 500. Maybe after some upgrading, you could talk about maybe 1,000. But currently we train over 6,000 there. So with that, what we're trying to do now is to create another depot so that we can have better training. Because you can imagine 6,000 people in one place with few structures to support the number. So these people, to be honest with you, are not well trained as they ought to be. So we're trying to address that challenge by creating another depot in Osogbo. So the new recruits coming on board now, half of them are going to Zaria, while the other half are going to Osogbo. And maybe with time again, we intend to establish one more depot, maybe in the southeast. And this is just for us to have quality training for our soldiers.
From renewed focus in the northeast to intensified operations in the northwest, the Army Chief says the war is far from over, but it is one Nigerian Army is confident it will win.
Thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is Journalist Hangout reaching you from our Abuja studio here. I still have Babajide Kolade Otitoju in the studio and Dr. Mojid Dairu here in the studio. Now, the kinetic and non-kinetic approach, the non-kinetic approach that the Chief of Army Staff was actually talking about, how far have we gone with it?
Yes, a single approach cannot deliver the outcome that we want to see. Look at Reintegration, for example. It is the non-kinetic approach that has ensured that that area is stable now. People go to Reintegration now without escorts. Some even travel in the night. Some even travel in the night. And I went there, I spoke with people, I could see that things have improved rapidly in that area. So the non-kinetic approach can bear results if we sustain it. It's not every time that you expect that military approach will work. It doesn't always work. I am happy that the Chief of Army Staff talked about training. An improperly trained soldier is a threat to the service. Because all kinds of awesome behavior, you start seeing some of them will even connive with the enemy. Some of them will sell weapons to the enemy. Some of them will disclose information about troops movement, leading to ambushes and all that. So I'm happy that he wants to focus more on training now. And they've already decided that, okay, the Zaria depot is not enough.
For the recruitment.
Yes, for the training of recruits.
Yes. That's been there.
Yes, and the army is expanding.
Yeah.
So that facility is not big enough to accommodate. Yes. So now they've created another facility in Oshobo.
It's a good development.
Yes. Now they plan to create another one somewhere in the south.
Decentralized depot.
The training of soldiers. Now, there is complaint that our people in the southeast are reluctant to join the army. But the Chief of Army Staff told us that, yes, why that is true of the men, women, a lot of women from the southeast are actually interested in joining the army. And you know, the present army spokesperson is a woman. That's the first woman. Yes, and Lieutenant Colonel. So I think that we are making progress, but Nigerians want to see this Bello Turji that has constituted a real menace to our troops, to our people, must be taken out. I can see progress being made because his second in command has been taken out already. And that's why Bello Turji is now, appears now to be suing for peace. Anytime he's feeling the heat, that's when you start hearing about amnesty, call for amnesty, and they don't want to fight again, this and that. But they should not listen because this is a tactic
just a mind game
that he has used over the years so that you people will calm down. And when you calm down, he will use that time to amass more weapons and he will come back again and be killing our people. So I'm happy with the progress, but we still want the army to go all out and take out these people who constitute such a big threat to our people.
Non-kinetic measures, and we can't be fighting all through if we don't look at what is really responsible for banditry and this ideological war.
Well, first, let me say I quite appreciate and commend the forthrightness and, if you like, the openness of the leadership of the Nigerian Army under the leadership of General Oluyede. The kind of things they revealed, in that media engagement, which was also very commendable because the partnership between the media and security forces is something that you cannot understate. It's so that it will enable the gentlemen that attended that and women that attended that event to also come and use that information that they might have gathered there to set an agenda for the civil authorities. Because I have a problem with this concept of non-kinetic approach to security being championed by the armed forces. That is the responsibility of the civil authorities. And for me, the best form of non-kinetic approach to security challenges is good governance. I say this because the civil authorities must stop creating more problems than the army can solve by simply being responsible and deliver basic good governance to their people across board. And I'm talking specifically about governance of the state. Secondly, we also need the civil authorities, the political leadership of this Nigeria, to do more for security services, including the army, so that they can also do more for us in terms of security of lives and properties. For how long are we going to be talking about under the remuneration of officers at bed of the Nigerian Armed Forces, under housing, lack of comprehensive health insurance that covers, some other levels of healthcare management. How long are we talking about on the equipment? I mean, the Army Chief Officer said 40% or more of his officers and men do not have adequate housing. So, and this falls under the purview of the civil authority that are supposed to provide the funding for this. We need to make these people comfortable enough to be able to deliver on their mandate of securing the territorial integrity of this country and to be able to defeat enemies, both domestic and foreign, that have not besieged this country. So we need to do more in that regard. So for me, what we want to see the Army telling us is what they have done and what they are doing in terms of their core military responsibilities. While we in the media will keep drumming to the ears of those that are in the cadre of political leadership to say, you must be able to mitigate things that are necessary, that are causative to banditry and Boko Haram insurgency. For instance, you know a very important issue about the religious motivation for some of these conflicts, the cultural motivation, the political motivation. And I've always said it. You see, this Boko Haram insurgency you are saying, until the political leadership of this country, and particularly the Muslim North, sits down to carry out a holistic reform of the mainstream theological, or if you like, theocratic framework that governs the Muslim community in Nigeria, we will battle Boko Haram for as long as I can foresee. So part of that kinetic approach, which the Army is already undertaking through its the Radicalization program in somewhere in Gombe, in Malam City local government, that is quite restricted and limited to just people that have already been radicalized and they are trying to bring them back. The truth is, as you are doing that, there are elements within the society that are continuously spreading this sort of teachings and preachings that leads to indoctrination or radicalization. So the more you are killing them in the field, more people are coming on board through radicalization. The civil authorities, the governors of the northern states, must find the solution to this. It's not the responsibility of the army.
Some Nigerians are not too happy with this process of reintegration of these elements into the society, and some of them will actually get what they want to get and go back.
It's true. Some of them are known to have returned even to the forest to continue fighting. It's difficult, and our people have found it difficult to even accept them fully. A man who lost his entire family to Boko Haram attack is not likely to welcome a so-called Boko Haram the Boko Haram
member who is that
member who has repented. So that is the situation. People are not happy to have them back. And knowing that the society is reluctant to welcome them, many of them will rather return to where they used to be.
So, and let me just add, it is extremely difficult, if not impossible, to de-radicalize an already radicalized mind. It is, I've not seen a successful case before. I know what I'm saying. So what you can do is make sure that the rest of the society are protected, are shielded from radicalization in the first place. Because these guys will get radicalized from the same society. But you have preachers preaching all sorts of hateful things, anti-democratic issues, anti-modern issues, anti-Western issues, and preaching against people of other faith, for instance, which is so widespread in our society, particularly the Muslim North. If you don't put a halt to that, if you don't, and let me say something very controversial here too. You see, you must dismantle all imprint, all intrusion of religion into state affairs. I've said this severally. You can't be declaring states as religious states, Sharia-governed states, within the civil space, and expect that not to serve as a canon fodder or inspiration for people who feel that the political Islam you're practicing is not adequate, and we must not pick up arms to enforce the real one that we want. So we need to have a holistic reform. We are state. The state is completely separated from religion. Nigeria is a secular state and must remain so.
I agree.
All right. For the governor of Enugu State, Peter Mba, all it takes to redefine governance is consistent policies and innovation, determined to achieve a multimodal transport ecosystem and make the Southeast